Hello everyone, and welcome to this, the first video of my new landscape photography channel, the Wildscape Chronicles. My name's Geoff, and I've been a photographer for probably the best part of 40 years. Oh, blimey, thinking about that makes me sound really old, and I suppose I am really. I started photography when I was about 11 or 12 years old, so it gives you an idea of my age. And this is really my first foray into YouTube proper. Now, I've not been under a stone for the last few years, but I had previously done fashion photography before transitioning into landscape. I just found that fashion was getting too intense, it was becoming too stressful, and it was having quite a negative effect on my mental health. So I decided that I needed a change, and I'd go back to what I loved the most, which was landscape photography. Just a bit about me really. I was a soldier with the British Army, and they very kindly, as soon as they found out that I was interested in photography, even in my role, I got sent on a number of courses to go and learn how to be a staff photographer for the military. And the upshot of that was that I was used for a lot of engagements in the military, and I got to photograph quite a few people, quite a few famous people, including MPs and members of the royal family, and including His Majesty the King. Unfortunately, because of the MOD copyright rules, even though I took the photographs, I'm not allowed to use them in my portfolio, but there we go. It was a great opportunity, and one I'll never forget. I think once I transitioned into fashion, I loved working with the people in the fashion industry, but as I say, the whole environment was just too stressful. So coming back to landscape was such a change for me, and all for the better. And the one thing I think, if you ask any fashion landscape photographer why they do landscape, I think unlike commercial photography, you're your own boss. You get to be the photographer that you want to be, not the photographer that you have to be. And I think that's quite important really, because with photography, it is a very creative process, and it's one of those areas where you get to express yourself. Now, with commercial photography, that can be quite restricted, because you're working to a brief, or you're working for a brand. Whereas with landscape photography, you're working for yourself, and it's your style and your mark that you're putting on the photography. So that's why I love doing it. And the second reason I love doing it is the one type of photography, I can't think of any others, where you get to be out in all weathers in some beautiful scenery and get to enjoy the outdoors and hike a bit. So it's quite healthy really as well for mind and body. And I love being out in the outdoors. I love sort of hiking and climbing mountains and that. So over the next months and hopefully years, I'm looking to take you, the viewers, on a journey with me. So this isn't just about me and doing this. This is about trying to build a community, as well as, you know, pass on some experience. So if you've got questions, or you want to comment on the videos, feel free. That's what it's there for. And as I say, Hopefully I can give you some value in some learning. You pick up some tips and tricks, and I'm sure, in fact I can guarantee you, I am going to screw up along the way, which is going to be entertaining for you. You're going to be laughing your heads off at some of the stuff I get up to. Probably, I would say, at least once every 4 or 5 trips I'm going to fall over. I'm going to slip down a bank. In fact, the last time I was out, I was at the top of a grass bank in a woods, lost my footing and went down about 40 feet on my back down the bank and was absolutely caked in mud. Luckily there was nobody around, and I got back to the car and managed to have a spare pair of trousers there, because it did look a bit suspicious. So yeah, there's going to be fun times as well, and I'm sure I'm going to enjoy making the videos as well as reading your comments. So tag along, like the videos if you like it, and subscribe to the channel for more content. I'm more than happy to give advice if you want to ask questions about any aspect of photography or getting into the industry. I'm more than happy to answer questions in the comments. Visit the website. The website's in the description. As Gavin Hardcastle says, the link's in the description. And we'll get on with this week's video, which was a trip to Scotland, specifically Dumfries and Galloway, a couple of weeks ago. The weather down at the lower levels, so where I was photographing the river and waterfalls, was quite calm, and then probably about a couple of hours later, when I started heading up the mountain, excuse me, things started to get a little bit wild. So there is limited footage on the mountain because A, the audio wasn't coming out, and B, it was getting extremely difficult to be able to speak to the camera and watch where it was going. It was starting to get quite dangerous. By the time I got up to the loch, and you'll see from one of the photographs later on in the video, the wind was so powerful it was actually whipping the surface of the water on the loch into a mist. So hopefully you'll get to see what my style is like as a landscape photographer, and you might, comment, like it, do whatever. Anyway, on with the video, and enjoy.
Hello, so finally made it here. This place is just unbelievable. There is just one scene after another, and the weather conditions couldn't be much better than they are. We've got really, really beautiful mist. If I turn you around there, you'll just see it coming in just to the top of the hills. So I've got a shot of that earlier on from further down the path, and I'll put that on the screen now. The sound that you hear is the waterfall that I'm at the moment, which is coming off a loch. And that waterfall, if I spin you round, is this one here. So the loch starts up at the top, just about there, and then comes down through this waterfall, just starts coming off the top of the loch, and there's about 6 different cascades all the way through, and it just goes all the way down through that V-shaped valley that you can see there, So it follows all the way down, and you see that V-shaped valley straight ahead. It goes all the way down through that, and there's a further, as I say, I think it's another 5 drops through the valley, which eventually drops out into the river at the bottom. But it really is an absolutely epic place to shoot. I'm going to carry on up the track. I'm going to head up towards the loch and do some images up there. Hopefully it's not too windy when we get up the top, but keep my fingers crossed. So I'll see you in a few minutes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, using the phrase "I'll see you in a few minutes" was probably not the best phrase to use, because here is the face of somebody that deeply regrets using those words. You see, what happened within 10 minutes of those words coming out of my mouth was that the wind speed picked up so much that I was nearly blown off the mountain on a number of occasions, and it made it really, really difficult to continue on, let alone film, which is why you're hearing my dulcet tones right now. However, I continued to take some photographs, and the rest of that journey I got probably another 5 or 6 photographs. So what I'll do now is put those images on the screen for you to take a look at and enjoy. So there you go, that was my little trip to Scotland. Hopefully you liked the video and the images that you saw in it. If you did, then please hit the like button and subscribe for my future content. Talking of which, in the next video I'm going to be shooting with this, which is my Bronica EC 6x6 medium format film camera. And I can tell you that this produces some absolutely beautiful images. It uses Nikon lenses and they are absolutely stunning, so it's well worth tuning in for that. Again, if you want to see more like that, then hit the subscribe button. Equally, if you've got anything that you'd like to see in some future videos, pop them in the comments. I will read your comments and I will reply to as many as I possibly can. Thanks for watching and see you next time.